be or not to be, to hire a real estate agent or not to. Hi, this is Belinda and I am your Maryland realtor. Today I am going to talk to you about why you should hire a real estate agent for the purchase of your home, especially if it's your first time or you have not purchased a home in a very long time. So let me first clear and demystify something that most people don't know. People, especially buyers, they think that they will, by hiring a real estate agent, most of them think that they will have to pay them out of their own pockets. And here they are, saved up all this money, and then now you have this realtor that you think that you might have to pay. No, you most likely, in 98% of the time, the case, you do not need to hire them. Not to hire them, but you do not need to pay them out of your own pockets. So what happened in the world of real estate is that the seller basically is the one who is responsible for your realtor, your buyer, as a realtor commission. So what happens is that the seller will hire a listing agent, somebody that it will come and they will talk about anything that has to do with the house, selling the house, and how to price it, and then how to market it, and so on and so forth. But on top of that, when they talk about the financial, even when they talk about pricing the home, they talk about commissions. So how much commission should you get? So the seller's agent or the listing agent would say, well, I can charge you maybe 6% of the commission. So that 6% will cover both the listing agent and the buyer's agent. So this, by buyer's agent, so I'm referring to, because I am talking mainly to the buyer, so to you, the buyer. So your commission, instead of you paying them, it's the seller who is basically paying them. So since we have that out of the way, now let's talk about why you need to hire them. You need to hire them because of representation. As a real estate agent, we have what we call a fiduciary responsibility. Fiduciary responsibility, which means that we are dedicated to serving you and not to divulge any information that you provide to us. Whether it comes to financial information, secret, or anything that you talk to us about the transaction, we are not to divulge that to the other party. So what would generally happen once you have, and I will do another video, I know I've been saying that, but I will do another video about how to hire a real estate agent. But when you meet with when you finally make your selection on who you want to work with, this is what will most likely happen. This is what should happen, or will happen, that your real estate agent will tell you, well, you know what, I have this piece of paper which is called a buyer's broker agreement. Can you sign this? So basically it's a legal paper that just tells that you are my buyer and I am basically representing your interest in this capacity. And then it has timeline, as far as if it's 6 months, if it's a year, whatever, but make sure that you also read it, that you know exactly what you're signing up for. So once that goes in, that basically means that that person is representing your interest. And then if there is another additional pay or what have you, that needs to be written also in there. Because I have a story, I have one of my former clients who basically was kind of taken advantage of, because his agent was telling him, well, you need to pay me this, you need to pay me that, I need to take you to visit this property, you need to pay this. And reading through the agreement that was there, so there was nothing that involved him paying that real estate agent such amount for each visit. So basically, in a nutshell, it's just make sure that you read and that you know what's expected and what service should you expect. So once you do that, then you have, as a real estate agent myself, you have my total devotion. I should not divulge your information, even if it's to friends, spouse, family members, whatever that is. We are not supposed to tell them that information. So it's an information. It's basically it's a secrecy that you have between you and the real estate, you and the real estate agent, and yourself. So this is the representation, and with that representation comes also the fact that they can negotiate deals for you. They can basically tell you if the property is priced appropriately. They are basically working in your interest, and in that case, so they are your clients. So you will be the real estate agent's client. However, if you refuse to sign that paper because you might think that what is said there is, you don't agree with what's said on the paper and you refuse to sign it, well, that real estate agent can definitely tell you, well, you know what, I can still help you find a home, right? So as they help you find a home, in that case, they do not represent you. They do not represent you. They're helping you, but they do not represent you. So which means that their interest is with the seller, is for the seller. Because what happened, even in that case, that real estate agent can talk to the listing agent and have, basically, there are some sub-agencies. So they will be working for or with the listing agent. So since the commission is still coming from the seller, they will have a sub-agency relationship instead of having a different type of relationship where you represent the buyer, you have the interest at heart, and you're not divulging any information to the seller. But in that case, if you didn't sign the buyer's broker's agreement, what will happen is that all the information that you tell that agent, when it comes to financing, when it comes to, let's say, inspection, and any interest that real estate agent has, will go with the seller. So let's say if you tell that real estate agent, well, you know what, I have more money that I can pay for this home, but I still want you to negotiate a good deal for me, to pay below asking price. That agent can go to the listing agent and then tell them that, well, he wants a lower listing price, he wants to pay a low price, lower than what we're asking for, but he also told me that he can actually go $40,000 or $50,000, but he just wants to save some money so he can work on something else with that. And of course, the listing agent would tell the seller, well, you know what, this guy is really interested in buying your home. He's trying to buy it for less, but he has additional money, but he really wants to buy the house. And the listing agent will come back and tell them that, well, you know what, actually, we will want you to pay $30,000 or $40,000 above asking price. And if you really want to buy the house, like, oh, snap, I really thought that I could get, a lower deal, that real estate agent will look at you in the face and just shrug their shoulders or just plainly look at you. And then later on, if you find out that the real estate agent basically divulged your information and told them, you do not have any right to sue them because you did not sign that buyer broker's agreement. So it's in your favor as you work with a realtor to sign that buyer's broker's agreement so that you are a client and not a customer. And then another thing you will need to do, even when you're buying a home from a friend, from a family member, from a parent, from whoever that you're really close, and you may think that you do not need to hire a real estate agent, but I just think it would be foolish to do that, because as realtor, we go through not only a substantial training, but we also do continuing education. So we know a lot more, and people don't buy houses, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, or every year. People tend to buy houses, between 8 and 13.2 years. So hiring a real estate agent, actually I do have a story, because one of my neighbor actually did that, purchased a home from a friend, and without hiring a real estate agent, and then a month or two into the house, things start falling apart. And of course that created friction between him and his friend, because now he's saying that, well, you sold me this house and you lived here for 20 years and you told me that everything was okay, and I purchased it, but now things are falling apart. Well, that's basically that's my neighbor's fault. It's it's not the fault of his friend, because his friend now has the money and then move on to something else. But having a real estate agent, they would tell you, well, these are the type of question that you need to ask. These are the type of inspection that you need to have, and making sure that you are making, because I mean, a home, it's one of the largest purchases that most of us would do in our lifetimes. So it's better to be smart. It's better to be safe than sorry at the end. Hire a real estate agent, and when you hire that agent can actually go, if you worry so much about the pay because that house is not listed anywhere so that the seller can pay the commission. Your realtor can go and talk to, real estate agent can go and talk to that seller and ask them, well, can you add 3% to the 3 or 2.5% of the price so that I can get my commission. So we are negotiator. So we can always negotiate on your behalf. Whether it's a for sale by owner property, if you worry so much that because they did not hire a listing agent, and they won't pay you because there's no listing agent who will determine who gets paid what, you worry that you have to get that money out of pocket, especially when you saved up so much, and then you know that all the expenses that come with buying a home, not considering, moving expenses, furniture, and, decoration, and just general personalization of the home. I always say it's better to hire a real estate agent because it's better for you to be safe than sorry. But anyway, this is all the information that I have for you today. And I hope that it's been very helpful. So please like, comment, share this video, and I will talk to you later. This is Belinda, and I help people build generational wealth with real estate. I will talk to you later.